गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। महायोगी स्वामी उमानंद सरस्वती की जय। I was in the ashram for almost 9 months and 9 days, and I told you last time this particular time taken was probably required by me and to develop spiritually, to be reborn into a new type of a world. Well, it all appears normal and the same, but probably your thinking changes, your motive changes, your routine changes. Well, whatever it is, your understanding changes. A lot of things change in you. And these are very subtly done. They're not like hard and fast, like normally military school and all. If you go and you stay there, you tend to change. You are more like stronger and whatever it is. The discipline, different discipline enters into you. But similarly, when you go to the ashram, you tend to take a different form, a different thought process, different motive in life, and so on. However, it molded me, and that was essential for me. So I'm glad I could stay there. All of you, those who wish to make spiritual progress, must try and stay in an ashram for some time. Well, here we had certain work allotted to us. Each one of us were given certain work allotted to us, and we had to do it as a part of the routine between, say, morning about 7 to about 9:30 and 10. Before that, we were given 3 hours of rigorous sadhana. We were asked to meditate if, of course, we would get up, and we had to get up early and we would meditate and then say the prayers and all. It was a beautiful discipline. And then after that, we were given some free time in which we were supposed to complete our tasks. And after that, again, we were allowed to study on our own. Rather, I was allowed to study because I was there with an intention of wanting to do PhD. Then I undertook a couple of subjects there, which were already in the form of discourses, lectures given by my guru, and they were on the audio cassettes. So when I had gone to stay there, actually, it was by then my guru had left the physical form, and so there was, her presence was only in the form of a grace and divinity rather than her personal physical existence. However, I knew that she was there all the time because whatever I required was gradually and slowly offered by the people in the ashram. Who were senior attendants, and I had a very comfortable stay. I actually need to thank all those people who helped me to stay there for 9 months. It's a long time back now, and I was able to listen to almost about 3 per day for almost 9 months. So we had almost 300 to 400 audio cassettes of my Gurudev regularly, and I took them down word by word, and that probably gave me the discipline of translating, because I would translate them into English as I wrote. My speed of English was a little faster than my Marathi, and though the discourses were, the talks of my Guru were in Marathi, I had taken them down in English. And somehow you tend to first, as you make your spiritual progress, you must realize it, that you need to know 2 more aspects in your life. First, you have to know what the Shastra says, which again is told to you by Guru. What are the scriptures in our spiritual scriptures talk about, the entire subjects that you are studying. Then you need to know what the Guru has to say, because each Guru interprets it in a new way. And third, then you also need to find out what you would want to say about it. So these are the 3 steps in which our thought process goes through, and then it emerges as your personal little contribution to the world. Well, I was able to take down all these cassettes, and they have become my prime source, I would say, of my studies. And probably this has helped me to get more focused into writings, and I was able to contribute a couple of books to the to my work schedule. Well, there was another thing I would like to tell, that in the absence of Guru also, physical absence of the Guru, a couple of times through intuition. Now I have come to the one of the great powers which can be developed in us, which can make you grow into spiritual world more successfully. That is the power of intuition. I had told you in one of my cassettes earlier about meditation. What is meditation for? It is for you to try and receive intuitions and exactly proceed the way the intuition. It is the inner voice, the voice of God. And that helps you to become more and more stable on this path or regularly make progress. So intuition is very essential for us. And it was this intuition, about few couple of incidents about intuition I would like to tell here. There was a morning routine. We would go and offer our respects to, there were three, my Param Guru, Nityanand Bhagwan, then Paraguru, first was Muktanand Baba. My Guru's Guru was Muktanand Baba, and Muktanand Baba's Guru was Bhagwan Nityananda. And all three were installed in the form of statues. All three are installed in the form of statues in my Gurudev's ashram, idols, I would say. And we were made to go and offer our respects to all these three, and before we would proceed with our normal prayers. One day when I was offering my respects, I was prompted that you need to go home. That's all. It was just one prompting, loud enough, clear enough, that I should be going home. And of course, once a thought process came, and it's a distinct difference. An intuitional voice and guidance has its own little difference from your personal inner voice. We must remember, we will gradually, as we do meditation, we will be able to know the difference, whether it is your own voice or probably the voice of your Sadguru, the Guru within. And this difference, once you tend to realize it, it becomes easier. Then there becomes an interaction possible between the disciple and the Guru. So I was tempted, I was intuitionally prompted, not tempted, I was prompted that I should be going home. Now, when this thought came to me, of course, I went in and I talked to one of the attendants along with me that I need to visit home. And of course, I was relieved for that day of my duties, and I was told to return back by 5. So then I left for my home and I went to see my parents. Unfortunately, my father was not well and he was admitted to the hospital. Now, why am I telling you this? That what does work in the absence of a guru? It is the intuition. The intuition in the form of a Sadguru's voice, the Guru within you, works to guide you. So this has to be received. You have to be receptive towards it. And in order to develop these receptivities, one needs to go through the discipline of meditation, studies, and of course devotion. So these three things are required so that you start being guided by Guru. Now, when I reached home, I was not told that he was not well, but when I reached home, I realized that he was in the hospital. I now wanted to stay till evening, and maybe possible even after evening. But I had my tasks given to me in the ashram of receiving people after 5. So I was to return. Now, in that process, I was not very sure whether I will be able to stay back. However, I made my attempt and asked the ashram people. I gave them a call, and just then one of the senior ladies said, well, if you wish to stay with your father, if he is not well, please do. And because we have one more attendant who has come from Nashik and is now here instead of you, so she will take care of the evening program. That relieved me and I stayed back. Now remember, I would like all of you to realize that when I was offering my morning salutations, I was intuitionally guided to go home. I could have come home to a normal house, just as if it was my desire. Now that is the difference between a desire and an intuition. I came home when I realized that my father was in the hospital. So therefore what I had received was an intuition, a guidance. And then when I came home and I realized that he was not well, not only was I guided, but it was also made easy for me to stay back and attend to my duties towards my father. Yes, friends, this is the Sadguru in our life. This is how intuition, one of the 7 powers which I will be talking to you about, one of the powers is the power of intuition. Now this power of intuition is used by God to guide us so that we do the right things at the right time. And if we need to do that, whatever cooperation is needed through situations also is arranged for you. Now this is something which does happen gradually more and more according to our requirements. And that is what we term as grace. But the intuition works in this manner. Now when I was there, now even in the absence of my Guru's physical form, there is what a power which leads me, guides me, is intuition. And if I have to listen to the intuition, then the situations around are also made supportive. All this fits within the logic of miracles. Remember, they all fit in within the logic of miracles. Another very interesting thing is during my duties there, which were daily duties, I would listen to the various discourses during my day. And evening, I would read out some of the diaries which were given. And of course, I was allowed to read the book that I was reading. At that time, I was reading a book named Brahma Chaitanya. Those who know Marathi, please read this book. It is important. It is a life of Gondolekar Maharaj, a great saint about whom I learnt in this ashram. And today, again, thousands of people go to even Gondolekar Maharaj to get spiritually, to develop spiritually. India is blessed with great saints, and each saint has his own way of teaching probably, but has his own place in the hearts of hundreds and thousands of disciples. Now Gondolekar Maharaj, a life around that, a story about Gondolekar Maharaj is very, very interesting. And I would like to, his picture is there in my intro. Please make every picture, you pause it for some time, look at the saints, read their works, because they leave some beautiful impressions on your mind, and your high heart, your mind, your intellect. It gets sort of, when you need a floor, gradually, and the more you need it, the more soft it becomes, and more beautiful the results of the bread made out of that appear, emerge. Something similar happens when we read various life stories. And one of the great stories and great works that I read was Brahma Chaitanya. I would like to talk about it. Let's say, should I say leave it to the next time? I think yes, because sometimes I run out of the space which is allotted on the YouTube. Anyway, these were, I today gave you the idea of how Guru can guide you even he is not there physically around you. Trust me, you will be guided through intuition, and these are called spanda. They are vishesh, that is specially designed or they are normal, which are heard by one and all. All of us here in intuitional guidances, when we are almost closing a door behind us, some inner voice tells me, have you got the key with you? Or is it inside? Well, that is a common spanda, a common intuition which all of us receive. And the Vishesh intuition, the special intuitions, are given to people when they need to be guided. As I was guided, that I needed to go home. Friends, we need to develop our intuition, and for which meditation is required. So please, if you want to know more about meditation, I've already talked about it in some of my earlier cassettes on Kundalini Yoga. Please go through them again. One of the I'm very glad one of the person from LA has sent me a message that they wanted to hear about meditation. So I want you to know that they are already talked about in my earlier cassettes on Kundalini Yoga. Please see if you are able to locate them, or I shall definitely announce it again in my next YouTube. But I have talked about meditation. Please try and see whether you can trace Manas Puja, that the worship which you do it at a mental level. So please practice that, and I'm glad you are joining me in my journey. Stay with me. Thank you to all of those who have joined us newly, and keep subscribing my channel. This is Swami Radhikanand from Pune. Thank you.